The threat from the sky. Following Sunday's shelling of the capital Stepanakert, the conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh has the potential of escalating into a full-blown military dispute.
Early in the morning, around 7 a.m., the Azerbaijani forces launched a large-scale aggression, including missile attacks along the line of contact with Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, and they are targeting civilian population and civilian infrastructure, including the capital, Stepanakert.
Regional authorities responded to the clashes by imposing martial law with immediate effect. Under martial law, I will call a general military mobilization and ask the entire population to unite around the governments of Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia. The responsibility for any resumption of the war will rest with the government of Azerbaijan now and in the future. The heavy military presence in Nagorno-Karabakh is part of everyday life in the enclave, as is death and mourning for people on both sides of the conflict. In recent years, the disputed region has seen fighting flare on a regular basis. Located in the South Caucasus, Nagorno-Karabakh is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but is controlled by ethnic Armenian forces backed by Armenia. The conflict dates back to the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Ever since, Armenia and Azerbaijan have claimed Nagorno-Karabakh as their own territory, a so-called frozen conflict that remains unresolved 4 decades later. In July, hostilities flared up again. 16 people were killed in the fighting. The conflict has international ramifications. Turkey has expressed its support of Azerbaijan, while Russia has provided Armenia with military equipment. While world leaders are calling for de-escalation, it seems on the ground the warring sides are fanning the flames of their frozen conflict.
We're joined now by DW's correspondent in Moscow, Yuri Resheto. Yuri, what more can you tell us about these latest developments?
Well, Michael, what we know from media reports is that both sides obviously have been blaming each other for attacking first. That's not new. It has been happening again and again for years. The last escalation was in June this year. And this time, there are apparently civilian casualties in the capital of Nagorno-Karabakh, Stepanakert. New is obviously the dimension of this military conflict now. There are reports of that and wounded among military servicemen. Numerous houses in villages have reportedly been destroyed. However, it might be the toughest fight in years in this conflict that has been going on for over 30 years already.
So you're really getting into it already here, but delve a little deeper if you can. What impact will these clashes have on the people in the region?
Well, Nagorno-Karabakh is a so-called disputed territory, disputed region, you said it, which is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but mostly governed by Armenian people. So it's in actual fact a kind of an independent state with its own political system. From an economic point of view, this is a poor area which is pretty complicated to reach, and that's why Nagorno-Karabakh is pretty isolated from the outer world. And like any military conflict, this escalation will only worsen the situation. Nagorno-Karabakh has been a frozen conflict for more than a decade. First violence broke out in the region in the 1990s. Back then, 30,000 people were killed. Then a ceasefire was signed, which helped to stabilize the conflict. But since June this year, we see the new escalation.
Let's get some regional perspective here, Yuri. Armenia has the backing of Russia, of course. Azerbaijan has strong ties to Turkey. How dangerous is this escalation of a decades-old conflict?
Well, this regional conflict is very dangerous for the entire South Caucasus and could have dramatic consequences even for Europe. Given that Azerbaijan is a significant oil and gas exporter to Europe and Central Asia, this new escalation can disrupt oil and gas delivery. But we also have to keep in mind, you said it, the two other strong powers behind Armenia and Azerbaijan, which are Russia and Turkey. Russia has promised to defend Armenia. Russia is traditionally on the Armenian side and sees the country fully in its zone of influence. Russian armed forces are displayed on the Armenian border to support the sovereignty of the country, of Armenia. Turkey, on the other side, has pledged to support Azerbaijan. And then we have also Iran, where a large Azerbaijan minority lives. So all in all, Michael, this new escalation could inflame a big crisis and ultimately involve more actors on different sides.
A dynamic situation there. Yuri Resheto in Moscow for us. No doubt we'll be checking in with you on this in the upcoming days. Thank you so much.